Howdy, everybody. Welcome to episode 36 of White Heat, presented by Godzilla Media. Real quick, though, JJ, how was that, the snow and ice that came through? Did that impact you at all last week?
I don't know. I was in the hospital.
You're, yeah, that's a very, very good point. But I will say this. I don't know about y'all, but the snow and ice that came through the Northeast late last week, pain in the ass. And I don't know about you, but I had the heat to warm me up after cleaning off my car and cleaning off other people's cars, and it was lovely. But there are some people who may not have properly checked to make sure their furnace or their boiler is working correctly and might have been left out in the cold, literally and figuratively, when all the havoc that was wreaked by that storm. And guess what? I got the answer for you. Our friends at Johnstone Supply in Troy, they're ready to help you as this frigid winter continues to roll through the month of February and maybe beyond. We'll see, depending on if this stupid groundhog was correct. And now it's more important than ever to make sure your furnace or boiler is ready to handle the extra workload in the coming weeks as winter continues. Make sure you tell your family, your friends, and more. The place to go to is Johnstone Supply in Troy, 518-272-5922, located on 6th Avenue. The crew is ready to give you the advice you need to get out of your dilemma and figure out the best solution for you, whether it's just fixing a part or getting a whole new heating system set up. If you already know you must make a change, then they are the guys you want to go to for the new high-efficient Goodman furnaces and Navian boilers. So again, stop into 6th Avenue in Troy, talk to our buddies, Tom, Kevin, James, or Rob, or just give them a call, 518-272-5922, and make sure you tell them that you heard them from White Heat as part of Godzilla Media. And that all being said, JJ, you mentioned you're in the hospital. We're not going to go into any heads or tails about what happened and all that jazz, because if you follow JJ on Twitter like you should, at JJ_Alexander,
Jesus.
he had a ball of a time in the hospital. But let's go to present day. How are you feeling right now?
I'm dealing. I'm sure like this shit's gonna hit me all at once. Like they got my right legs in a fucking immobilizer. They got me on a bunch of different drugs. I got to stay in this thing at least till Friday when I see the surgeon and see what it is. I got, what do you call, I'm all sewn up. It's a lot bigger of a scar than I thought. But, I mean, judging by the fact that I'm not in the hospital, it looks like they got everything that they needed to. So everything should be on the up and up. Here's hoping.
Considering your past hospital stays, that sounds a lot better than.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave it at that.
I got very worried though when I was getting brought in by the assistant's the surgeon's assistant, and his first name was Nick. So I'm getting wheeled into the OR, and the door is open, and he goes, "Hi, everybody," and everyone goes, "Hi, Dr. Nick," and I went, "Oh fuck."
Oh boy.
I was like, if I hear you say I know what to cut, but what and where, I'm gonna kill you.
Oh boy. Oh, well, I'm glad at least you're out. That's wonderful. We're able to get this episode done, and you're able to be chilling at home instead of, eating hospital food. That's wonderful.
Oh my God, it's gotten worse. It got worse. Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah. Well, that being said, let's just dive right into the show. We do have plenty to get into this week.
Yeah.
Let's get all the review kind of stuff out of the way before we dive into the hard-hitting stuff with AEW and WWE. So real quick, first off, New Japan is back in action. They're back up and running in Japan. They've also started running their New Japan Strong shows again out on the West Coast. Details have come out, though, about a few things. Number one, they finally released official details, not a card, but as far as like pricing and when tickets go on sale for when New Japan Strong does their show WrestleMania week in Dallas, called Lone Star Showdown. It's going to be part of WrestleCon. It's going to be that Friday matinee-ish. It's going to be a 5 p.m. start time at the Fairmont Hotel in Dallas, Texas. If you want the details about pricing and when shit goes on sale, that's on you. Go to the New Japan website. Nice and easy to find there. The second thing they also have come out with is announcing that New Japan Strong is going to make Their debut in Chicago in April as well, April the 16th to be exact. It's a Saturday night. Those tickets are also going on sale this Friday, just like their WrestleCon tickets for WrestleMania week. So that's Saturday, April 16th. The talent scheduled to appear as of right now include Will Ospreay, Jeff Cobb, Yuji Nagata, Ishii, Jay White, Finn Juice, Tom Lawler, Jonah, Fred Rosser, and Brody King. Again, you can find all the details about exactly where in Chicago they're having the show, ticket prices, so on and so forth at the New Japan website. And then finally, New Japan also released a schedule for their upcoming events in Japan in March, which include a 50th anniversary show that'll be done on March the 1st from Budokan Hall. Will be broadcast live on New Japan World. Thank you. Because they have Strong, they have World. My mind's all over the place. So it'll be broadcast live on New Japan World, and then the following day, still in Budokan Hall, they're going to kick off March 2nd the New Japan Cup, which will run throughout the month of March and end with the finals at Osaka-jo Hall on March the 27th. So things seem to have finally calmed down in Japan. They got a whole schedule lined up for the rest of February, and March is jam-packed with all New Japan Cup pretty much the entire way. So that looks good for them. Then we get into the Fugly. Well, the star of the Fugly for this show. So
I watched the main event.
So they start. So I want to make sure I got this straight. So the Digital Media Championship is. I thought, I could be wrong, but I thought the incarnation of that title was supposed to be strictly for the BTI broadcast and the Twitch broadcast they did.
Yes, it was.
But it opened their Access TV broadcast.
Yep. Because reasons.
I mean, I could give you the reason. I mean, I'm assuming this is the reason.
Because no one watches BTI since it went to internet only.
Okay, so two reasons. That's one. Yes, okay. Two being because they were putting the belt on Cardona. That's the only other thing I can think of. So they decided to go from Jordan Grace to Cardona in a schmaz, and if you didn't see it, just go find the clip of the finish. It's
bullshit.
It's Jordan getting fucked. That's the best way to put it.
And not in a good way.
No, not in the way that she would like to be fucked by Jonathan Gresham. So Cardona wins the belt. Fuck him, whatever.
Watch, now he's going to bring the fucking internet championship out of the fucking mothballs.
Oh, he's already taking pictures with both belts. It's okay.
Oh, really? Damn, I was just fucking spitballing. Jesus.
Oh, it's been done. If you find him on Twitter, he was already doing pictures 24 hours after the fact.
Jesus fuck.
Did you expect anything different? I mean, this is a dude that says that working in WWF was his developmental.
Yeah, okay.
You really don't follow any. You probably couldn't be. Probably couldn't care less.
There's very few fucking nationally known workers that I follow on Twitter just because I can't handle the bullshit.
High treat. Fair. That's fair. Kaz, whatever. Jonah beats Crazy Steve, who didn't see that coming. Black Taurus stops him. Who cares?
Yeah.
What else here? And then, Gresham has his match with Macklin. Gresham wins by DQ.
Yep.
After the match, Interesting. Honor No More came to the aid of Gresham.
Yeah, because they're trying to confuse everyone into thinking that Gresham's part of them. And then in the end, it's going to be Eddie Edwards.
Right. Then after that, well, Alexander then came down, and that led to him and Vincent having a one-on-one match, which Josh won. Then Kenny King shows up because we really need Kenny King.
I mean, it's Kenny King. He's never really offended me.
He jumps Josh. Then Morrissey jumps Moose in a hotel room because fuck it.
Yeah. Pre-tapes, baby. Pre-tapes.
Love it. And then they had John Schuyler on the show. Where the fuck have I been? Anyways. So against Bhupinder Gulhar. Whoever the fuck this is.
He's the guy who was with Rahit Raju, and he's since like broken off, and they're trying to put he's like their Veer Mahan right now.
Oh, okay. Well, he beats Schuyler. Good for him. Then they showed WWE footage from the Royal Rumble because it's Mickie James. They felt like it.
Right.
And then
I'm sure they had fair use to do it.
Blah, blah, blah. And then they revealed that the quintessential diva that they've been teasing is not Taya because that makes sense.
Last week. Yeah.
Masha Slamovich takes on Casey Lennox. I think Masha won? Yes, Masha won. There we go. They hid that real nice in the results. Interview with Deanna. Nobody gives a fuck. Yeah. Oh, the Bullet Club, right. The 8-man tag between Bullet Club against Speedball Bailey, Jake Something, Ace Austin, and Fulton. Bullet Club wins.
Because there was a whole bunch of fuckery on the Impact side, because like the whole thing is like Ace Austin's trying to get Speedball Bailey to be his friend. At the same time, Jake Something was just there and he was the only babyface on that team, and Ace Austin refused to tag Jake in and all this shit. And they ended up costing him at the end.
Sounds about right.
And fucking Madman Fulton that thinks he's Lance Archer now. Like
God used the Magic Killer during the match.
Yep. That was great. Because they've got a match against Good Brothers.
The Good Brothers for the tag titles of the No Surrender, yeah.
Right.
And then the showing off there with Good Brothers and VBD attacking Bullet Club.
Right.
To end the show. Lovely. So yeah, that's we've gotten through the minor leagues. I mean, no, New Japan's in the minor leagues, but New Japan doesn't have a whole lot going on typically, so we just kind of roll the punches there. So, trying to decipher where I want to get angry. Well, let's get the bullshit out of the way. Let me
pull my notes.
Let's just get the bullshit out of the way,
and it was bullshit because look, here's your biggest fucking build on a feud that you decided to give away on free TV, and it didn't draw shit.
Yeah, I'm just
so much for being a needle mover.
Oh God! Wait, what the fuck is this? Huh? Oh, okay. Sorry, I was looking at something that caught me off guard. Oh. So we look at AEW. Let's just start with not the bullshit, but the drama that was happening before the Evil went on the air. So I want to say it was either that Monday night after we had already recorded, or it was the following morning. I think it was Monday night, like during Raw.
Yeah.
They announced Brian Kendrick was debuting in AEW in a singles match with Moxley on Dynamite.
Yep.
However, within less than 48 hours, literally a matter of a couple hours before showtime, it becomes announced that Kendrick is pulled from the match, and I'm assuming, but I don't think they actually ever came out and said this. I'm assuming will not be working with the company.
Probably not.
And see, I had forgotten about this because it happened so long ago that I didn't really, especially considering that he's been left and come back to WWE and whatever. So, like, it was one of those things where because he's been employed by someone in the recent history, like, it left my mind.
Yeah, but you know something? I'm willing to bet that this is the reason why. Because remember how he was supposed to face Harlan? Harlan, yeah. Remember how he was supposed to face Harlan a few weeks ago? And then they just decided to do the bit where he got attacked and thrown down the stairs instead?
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet that fucking, like, they pulled him because they were like, yeah, by the way, like, they had someone do a scrub of his fucking social media, and they were like, yeah, we're not going to do this. And then afterwards, they probably told him why, and he said, fuck you, I want out of my contract. So they said, fine. Because it's on the internet, and it lasts forever.
Fair. So, I don't know all the ins and outs, particulars. Do you want to just give a quick, like, Cliff Notes overview of exactly what Brian Kendrick said and when he said it and all that jazz?
So it was around, like, the most notable is, like, there's, like, video recording of it. Was from 2013, but it was still, you know, he's still, like, you know, he's Brian Kendrick believes that the Earth is hollow, and that Hitler was doing research trying to find out that the Earth was hollow, and that the Holocaust wasn't as big as people say it was, and that there were just as many Catholics killed in the Holocaust that there were Jews, and that the numbers have been overblown. Basically, in not so many words, being a Holocaust denier without coming out and saying it. Also, I believe there was some lizard people shit in there. So, yeah, just basically, like, every level of tinfoil hat. He's got like the what are them, the Russian nesting dolls? He's got, like, Russian nesting dolls of tinfoil hats.
Earth is hollow?
Oh yeah, you've never heard of the Hollow Earth people?
I mean, I've heard of flat earthers. I've never heard of hollow earthers.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you ever want to see fuckery on a huge scale, fucking Google that shit. Or, like, find a Reddit thread about people being dumb about it.
Are these people, like, anti-science? Like,
oh yes, very, very.
Like, all you gotta do is never mind. Shut up, Brian. Shut up, Brian. Let it roll.
Titus, come here.
Oh, fucking A. All right. Any Hooser. So he gets pulled, and then they. This is where the fuckery continues, though. So continue that thread into the opening of Dynamite. Mox still has a match. Now it ends up being with Wheeler Yuta
for no reason.
Which, if I remember correctly, if you know about, like, that's the best you could do, is really what I'm getting down to.
Oh, yeah.
So, whatever, they have the match. Mox wins, as you would assume.
Well, back it up for a second. Okay. They've already fucked Danhausen. Because they stuck him with the fucking Pudding Gang.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because obviously he's obviously not completely cleared to work yet. But correct. So they're like, yeah, so let's just put him with Orange Cassidy and these guys for no fucking reason. Like, no. Like, why don't you let him stand on his own? Because now you've just stuck him with this group of, you know, the Fuckleberry fucking squad. I don't get it.
What was that? The Fuckleberry squad?
Yeah, it's still in my head from last week. So yeah, like, and I don't want to keep saying Pudding Gang because that's Cornette's thing. But yeah, it's just like, it's like, and the thing is, like, I used to love Chuck Taylor. I don't know when Chuck decided to stop going to the gym, because Chuck used to be cut as all fuck.
A little pudgy.
A little bit. And, like, Cassidy, like, I love Jim. I liked him better as Fire Ants. And I liked the old the old inception of Orange Cassidy better. And I mean, I'm happy he's getting paid, but I just, it doesn't, this inception of a gimmick does nothing for me. And I could really care less about Trent Beretta or Wheeler Yuta.
True. Very true. So we get to the end of the match. Well, after the match, I should say.
Yep.
And they've been, ever since Mox came back, they've been teasing with Danielson, either crossing paths with him backstage or watching his match backstage. Well, this week, they decided to go well, I don't know if you can really call it all in, but they had Danielson in the ring after the match ends. And they decided to take a left-hand turn with this because everybody was assuming that this is, and I think it's still setting up an eventual match between these two. But instead of him coming out and right away challenging Mox to a match, they went the other way with it, with Danielson trying to get Mox on his side.
They did the Steven Regal, Bobby Eaton thing.
Except they don't have to teach Mox how to drink tea and be British.
Right, but that was the whole thing, was Bobby Eaton whooped up on Steven Regal. Steven Regal said, let's talk. And then all of a sudden, Bobby Eaton was fucking one of the Blue Bloods.
This was after Jean-Paul Levesque, right?
Yeah, this was Jean-Paul. This was after. This was like this. I remember it happening on WCW Worldwide. I want to say it was like 94, maybe 95. But yeah, like it's just it's another old Dusty trope.
Interesting. I just don't like. I would assume where they're gonna go, it's gonna be a match eventually, but like, I just don't know what the in between point A and point B is gonna be.
It's just going to be Mox trying to, Danielson trying to convince Mox and trying to convince Mox. And eventually either Mox is going to say, fuck you, I'm done with it. Or Mox is going to go, okay. And then they're going to form the fucking 4 workhorses.
This is going to be a thing where Kingston just floats around somehow into this for no reason.
I could really see it becoming like fucking, I could see it like if they decide to go full out fucking heel stable, have it be like Danielson, Mox, Kingston, and someone like fucking Dante Martin.
Just for the sake of having somebody young in the group?
Yeah, just for the sake of having someone young that does flips.
Okay. Well, I mean, obviously
he name dropped one of them in the thing about what if we took them under our wing.
He did name drop Martin because who is he work? Oh, because he mentioned how he was working with Matt Sydal, I think it was.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And then they name dropped Lee Moriarty, who's working with
Cody.
Right. I want to say he name dropped one other person too. I can't remember.
I think he name dropped Orange Cassidy, but I don't remember.
He name dropped Orange Cassidy, but that was in the midst of him. That was towards the beginning of the promo before he was mentioning younger talents.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Any hooser. So now we get to probably the biggest fuckery of the night, which let's just call it as I see it, and as we see it, because I know you agree with me. I don't think there's any quicker way to kill the momentum of an AEW show than coming back from a commercial break and having Cody or Brandy in the middle of the ring.
Oh, yeah.
And then compound that
with Diet Cornette.
Right.
Nobody wants this program. Nobody.
And then they double down on stupid by having... Now, don't get me wrong. I'm an MMA fan, so I respect what Paige does in the cage. But you've got an MMA chick come down who has no prior wrestling experience.
Yep.
Barely knows how to even get in the ring, let alone know what she's doing when she gets in the ring.
Uh-huh.
and they have a fake cat fight, and you empty out the whole babyface side of the women's locker room to separate them. When the week prior, I believe it was, there was a men's pull apart, and you only had 2 or 3. I can't remember. What was the pull apart from the week before?
Oh shit! It was. I don't know.
Oh, was it Paige and Archer? Maybe.
Yes.
There was, yeah, and they only had like a couple guys tops.
Yep.
So you're telling me it takes 10 chicks to separate Brandy and Paige Vanzant, but it takes only 2 or 3 guys to separate your world champion and the monster that is Lance Archer.
Yep. Well, hold on. Okay, so before I give you the reason for all of this, I'm going to back it up to the actual promo segment. So, as I said, nobody wants this. The crowd was verbally telling Brandy to shut the fuck up. Like, at that point, the crowd's not stopping. Just take it home. Get to your fucking last. Get to the last bullet point and just fucking get instead of dragging it out, because nobody wants you out there. You're not a fucking baby face. And it's not because you're married to Cody. It's because you're a fucking cunt. That's why. Nobody likes you. No one ever will. Like, let's call a spade a spade. Fucking Diet Cornette, people are tired of the fucking bit. Like, it was okay the first couple of weeks, and now it's just fucking stale. Everyone knows he's part of the fucking roster, and no one gives a fuck. Like, now he's just, now it's just, I'm the old man yelling at a cloud that fucking Cody keeps fucking saying. Like, so then like having Brandy say the only reason we signed Ethan Page was against Josh Alexander was the dumbest fucking thing ever, because it's fucking Impact. If you wanted Josh Alexander, you would have just signed Josh Alexander. Like, and that's just burying that this guy that has already done next to nothing since coming back to since coming over to AEW. Sidebar: if you notice, they're doing that stupid. They're starting this week with qualifiers for that stupid fucking Face of the Revolution ladder match again this year.
Correct.
Where you fucking go up and you get the big fucking gold Cheerio.
Yes.
Who debuted in that last year? Ethan Page. What has he done since? Nothing.
I forgot he debuted in that match.
So did everyone else. Especially because the surprise wasn't the guy that won it.
I'm trying to remember who the fuck did win it. Was it
Scorpio Sky?
Look what he's done.
And do you remember what they got for winning the big gold Cheerio?
I would assume some kind of title shot.
A shot at the TNT title. You know, the title where everyone can just walk in off the street and go, I want a shot. This is why AEW's booking is so fucking awful.
Okay.
So I'll get back to that later. So we do all this shit. We're going off. Crowd's telling both of them to shut the fuck up. Nobody fucking cares. And then we get the fucking reveal of Paige Vanzant. And you know why all this is happening?
Go ahead.
What happened on the other channel?
What happened? Oh, because Ronda.
Exactly.
Well, here's my. Okay. So here's the thing. For those of you who don't know the background of Cornette Light, Diet Cornette, whatever you want to call him. All right. It was also referenced during the promo if you weren't paying fucking attention. So he's like the figurehead behind America's Top Team, which is like, as the name would tell, like the top tier MMA training group in the sport in the United States.
Ben Ortiz trained for America Top Team.
Ortiz, I mean, they've had great champions come through there, including recently, even though she lost her most recent fight, Amanda Nunes was like considered a GOAT in women's MMA. But amongst that group are 2 notable females aside from Amanda Nunes. One's Paige Vanzant, the reason she's notable, not necessarily because of how good she's done in MMA and now bare knuckle fighting, but she's good looking, easy to look at, and she's married to the guy that's #1 contender for a Bellator title, who's getting his title fight coming up soon. And Bellator is owned by Turner. Yep. The other female that I think is more accomplished and more. If you want to answer the Ronda Rousey line, this is the line you should go because of how successful she is based on being a judo Olympian and being a badass undefeated MMA fighter. You should go the route of Kayla Harrison, who has been on AEW TV once or twice. They just haven't had the fucking intelligence to go, hey, that's the talent we should have, not the pretty bitch.
They probably also didn't offer her enough money.
Well, here's the thing. Kayla's also in a weird place right now professionally because she was part of the Professional Fight League that ESPN broadcasts. But that's a seasonal thing. And it's a tournament-based thing. It's not like an actual UFC throughout the year kind of thing.
Yeah.
So she's already won that twice. So now she's in a place where do I stay here where I've already established myself and get the easy $1 million check at the end if I win a third time in a row? Or do I branch out into the mainstream of the mainstream, which is weird because PFL is an ESPN-run league, but they also have this contract. It's fucking weird. I don't know how they get away with PFL when they have UFC rights. It's fucking weird. But anyways, she's basically in this weird spot where she can either stay in PFL, and obviously, if UFC's negotiating, Bellator's offering her the world too.
Right.
So she has like 3 different offers. She's in the meantime, in her fuck around time right now, she's at home chilling with her kids, whatever. But she's also made a couple appearances on AEW television, non-physical appearances.
Right.
And you would think, like, you tell me. Let me put this offer to you, Mr. Booker. Pretty bitch, badass bitch.
Badass bitch.
Thank you. Like, what's the proper answer to Ronda Rousey? A pretty bitch or a badass bitch? It's badass bitch.
But the reason is because whoever they bring in is going to have to do the job to Brandy.
Kayla's been interviewed about wrestling before. She really couldn't give 2 shits about if she did wrestling, how it would affect her platform. I watched her press conference before the championship night for her second one that she won for PFL. And she legitimately, that was the question I was going to ask. Somebody got to it first. And they were like, have you thought about WWE or AEW? And she legitimately is like, I mean, I'd consider it, but it wouldn't have. Anything I do there isn't going to affect what I do here. So it's she legitimately doesn't give a shit. If she does it, she does it. If she doesn't, she doesn't. Whatever. So it's like, if that's the attitude, fucking why not?
Nah.
I don't know. On the same token, the only reason I could see Kayla turning it down or them not approaching Kayla is because anybody with half a brain who does the proper research will find out how much of a badass Kayla really is and realize they're making her job to her.
Exactly.
That's the only fucking thing. But I don't know. Any hooser. I don't know. The whole fucking thing.
That took up a big chunk of the program too.
Yeah, that was like 20 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else we got here? So I guess they decided that Pac was going to come out for his return match looking like Sandra Bullock in Bird Box.
Yeah, well, because the whole thing is he's blind, but he's not really blind. Gee, who didn't see that coming? You know what they did there? Sandman and Tommy Dreamer.
Ish. Sure. We can even go
Everything's
further back.
recycled.
You can even go further back and say
Jake and Martel.
Even further back than that. Didn't they do a thing with Gino Hernandez and Chris Adams?
Yes,
wasn't that a thing too in WCCW?
Yes, they did. Yes.
I'm trying to remember. Was that in the? I'm trying to remember if I heard about that, if it was in the WCCW documentary that WWE did, or if that was in the Gino thing. I think that was a WCCW
I think
documentary.
they covered it in both. Just I think they covered it more in the Heroes of World Classic.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to think, was that before? No, I think that wasn't that the blow off from when they were a tag team? No, that was before.
That was before. That was before.
Yeah, because they had that. Then they became a tag team.
Yeah,
then they
did
the thing with the Von Erichs.
Babyface. Yeah.
And then they did it was like a hair versus hair thing they did with the Von Erichs.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So, yeah, I remember some stuff. It's okay.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I actually learned because like I have like I keep like a playlist of like documentaries on YouTube. In case like I need something to fall asleep to. There's actually both the WWE Heroes of World Class and the not unauthorized, but the independently done History of World Class DVD are both on YouTube right now.
I'll have to look up the independent one.
That one was really good because that was the one where they actually used like it was a lot more stuff with Kevin Von Erich. It was a lot of interviews with Chris Adams that were taken before he died. A lot of stuff with Gary Hart. Like it was really well done. The only problem with seeing it on YouTube is the video quality is only like 480p, but that's fine.
Okay,
you still get the details. But yeah, anyway, so getting back, so we get the Kings of the Black Throne, which. I can't stand it's like, okay, you've already got a name for the stable. You don't need a name for the fucking tag team within the stable.
Right.
Like, just say representing the House of Black.
Right.
Because there's only 2 members in the stable too. Like, motherfucker. Like, there's too many levels to that. It just reminds me of back fucking Ring of Honor. It reminds me back when fucking Rocky Romero and Ricky Reyes were tagging. And they were the Havana Pitbulls, but they were part of the Rottweilers. Because the Rottweilers was the stable with them and Homicide and Julius Smokes and Loki. So I remember there was always one smug motherfucker in the crowd at every ROH show going, "Are you a Pitbull or are you a Rottweiler?"
It's kind of where my brain was going, but
exactly. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like you don't need that. And then it's like, okay, so you beat Penta and Pac. And so I love it. Someone else pointed out, they're just like, so Andrade and Aleister Black and fucking Neville are all in the same place here that they were in WWE. Just filling out the bottom of the mid card, doing nothing.
Yeah, I don't really. I don't completely understand. Like, they're not even using Andrade as an in-ring talent. Like, when's the last time he had a match?
They've hardly used even like I think it was the match against Cody. That was the last time.
Like, they're using Andrade.
They're doing the whole thing where Andrade has become part of, like, he has done a merger with the Hardy family office, like,
right, and like
it's not the corporate ministry. No one gives a fuck.
They're using Andrade as a figurehead money man, instead of like,
but creative control.
What's But this isn't creative. This is.
I know. But no, but AEW, creative control, bro. Remember Andrade was supposed to be like the next big thing? It was supposed to be a contender for the title? Remember how Andrade was being misused in WWE? Remember how Aleister Black was being misused in WWE? Remember how Neville was being misused in WWE?
But this goes back to This goes back to the same issue we keep bringing up, I feel like, every week. People are getting signed for the sake of signing them. Which leads to a lot of them having no rhyme or reason to anything they do. Like, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Like, If there was such a thing as a wrestling dictionary, and you could look up the word insanity, you know what would be a glossy 8x10 next to the word insanity right now?
Picture of Tony Khan.
I was going to say a picture of the AEW logo, but that
Yeah.
works too.
Yeah.
It's just, you can't just, and that leads to, like, to get ahead of ourselves for a moment here, because all it's been getting teased since Friday night is that something's going to happen at Dynamite that's going to change the landscape. I don't know. I can't remember. They've been playing the same fucking commercial all weekend. I can't remember exactly the words they've been using. It's going to be a shocking. It's going to change the landscape. Like, if this is guess A or guess B coming in to join AEW, that's not really changing the landscape of fucking anything.
Mm-hmm.
Guess A, which we talked about before the show, because it's been teased by these two, I think on accident, but it's been teased anyways. Killer Cross and Scarlet. Option B here, which has been teased by wrestling news outlets and not so much anybody in AEW, is Jeff Hardy. Neither of those are groundbreaking.
Right.
Because you're either going to bring in legitimate talent that's going to get misused, or you're going to bring in a veteran to just kind of fall into the background of everything, just like you've done with Christian Cage, just like you've done with Matt Hardy, just like you've done with...
It's going to be so the Hardy Boys can job to the Bucks one more time.
Because we really want that match. No. No.
I know.
FTR maybe. Bucks, no.
We've already seen the Hardys versus FTR, though.
But it's FTR. You can't... It's... Having a bad match with FTR is...
I know. But then we'll get to see the Hardys versus fucking Santana Ortiz, because we never got to see that. Yay. And you know what happens when they do that? Then all the fucking tag teams that Matt Hardy manages just go fuck off. No Private Party, no Butcher and the Blade, nothing. No, because we got the Hardy Boys.
When Phoenix comes back, Phoenix and Pentagon, I could be okay with.
Yeah.
But you're still talking about...
I know.
240-something white dudes who can't go like they did 20 years ago.
I know.
And you're asking that...
It's the same shit that fucking... It's the same problem Dixie had in the fucking mid 2000s to early 10s. Is signing WWE guys does not mean you're going to get viewers. Like, it doesn't fucking work that way. Especially when you've got shitty fucking bookers like fucking Tony Khan. Like, yeah, so what do you call it? Like, it's just fucking ridiculous. It's like, so you're either going to bring in Jeff Hardy and you're going to completely fuck over, like, all your other tag teams, or you're going to bring it. What are you going to do with Killer Cross? Killer Cross is a newest member of the House of Black. Like, that's the only thing you can fucking put him in where it would work. And then still, like, what are you going to do with Killer Cross? Like, he's more jacked than fucking 90% of your fucking roster.
Speaking of jacked, that just made me think of somebody else. Where the fuck is Miro?
Supposedly he's hurt. But he's been hurt since that fucking match with fucking Danielson at fucking the last pay-per-view.
That was 3 months ago.
Yeah, I know.
But he's had vignettes since then.
Yeah, you notice how those have just stopped? Oh, God. Yeah, they'll bring in Cross and Scarlet just to feud with Miro over who's more jacked with the hotter wife.
I mean, never mind, forget it. Let's see what I was going to say. I'll be smart and shut up. Brain damage.
Because I mean, let's play fucking stupid fantasy booker for a second. You bring in Killer Cross. Once you have him feud with Miro, Wardlow, Lance Archer, what else have you got for him?
Jake Hager.
When's the last time he's actually had a match?
I know. I named the first person.
I mean, you could have him work Jericho, meh.
Yeah.
You could have him work fucking Danielson, meh. Mox, meh.
Speaking of which, because we mentioned Hager and Jericho in the same breath, what the fuck are they doing with like this inner circle team meeting shit that's coming up this week?
It's going to be the next tease to the inner circle breaking up, which is not going to happen.
Which will, by the way, be the first time we see Hager on TV in like
since that fucking match at the pay-per-view with fucking Lambert
3 months ago.
Team.
Yeah.
There was a good amount of money used.
I'm trying to think if Hager's you can go ahead with your notes because I think there's more. I'm assuming there's more notes to what you have than what I have because my next note is about the main event, but go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so we got Adam Cole's going to shock the world by facing Evil Uno. Because now Adam Cole is going to go through the Dark Order because he wants a title shot. So we're recycling the Bryan Danielson story a month after it happened, where Adam Cole's going to go through the Dark Order to try to get to a title shot, apparently.
Lovely.
So now we get to see all the guys from the Dark Order get sauntered out again and jobbed. So we could possibly get Adam Cole versus Adam Page somewhere. Like, and God knows it'll probably not happen. Or it'll happen on a free episode of Dynamite.
Probably. Much like this Texas Death Match.
Right? Well, we'll get to that in a minute. But also, yeah, fucking Adam Cole. What did I say? Fucking Adam Cole fucking says the lights out match didn't count, so I'm still undefeated in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no. Like anyone with a fucking brain. Seriously. Like, it's just so fucking pointless. And Adam Cole needs to hit a fucking gym. I'm sorry. And so then we get fucking Ruby and Nyla again. Because fucking just the way it is. Then we get the promo, the in-ring confrontation between Paige and Lance Archer. Which they're having a Texas death match in New Jersey.
Boardwalk Hall, baby.
And then what do you call it? And so then they do the thing where the fucking like Archer puts fucking Paige to a table and shit. No refs there for a pull apart. Like there was a pull apart the week before, but there's just let them fucking go at it. No refs, no baby faces. Like you just had a pull apart the week before. Why aren't you having a pull apart again? You know what that means?
Go ahead.
But that just turns into sports entertainment bullshit.
But they needed 10 chicks to pull apart Paige Vanzant and Brandy Rhodes.
Exactly. Here's what you do. If you want to, if you really have to be like, well, we don't want two pull aparts in a show, then you sacrifice the pull apart for the title match versus a pull apart for no fucking reason between a non-wrestler and a non-wrestler.
No. That's silly. That's silliness.
And then if you notice, Ricky Starks versus Jay Lethal was supposed to happen on Dynamite. And then before the main event, they said, oh, it's going to happen on Rampage.
Because I really wanted to save it so I could hear Mark Henry goes, it's time for the main event. I can't tell you how fucking stupid I feel when I see him say that every week.
So then we get Punk versus MJF with TV time remaining, which there was 45 minutes left. So they pulled Lethal and Starks to give these two 45 minutes.
Yep.
Of which 30 to 35 minutes of that match wasn't even necessary. So, okay. So, I'm sorry, but everyone's like, this was a 5-star match. No, this match bored me. And then, okay. So, number one, good on MJF for getting the subtle heel heat by wearing the Chicago White Sox fucking trunks.
Mm-hmm. Well, was it that or was it supposed to be Yankee pinstripes?
It was White Sox.
Okay.
Because they were in Chicago and Punk's a Cubs fan.
True. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, it was definitely White Sox.
Okay.
So then what do you call it? So we get this is what I don't get. If you're going to have MJF go over dirty, then just have him go over dirty once. There's no reason to have him go over dirty and then restart the match. Just to have him go over dirty again.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's overkill. Like we got to the same fucking destination. You just took fucking 3 lefts before going on the fucking straight road to do it. So,
okay.
So fucking Punk. So Punk finally has a loss. All right. So Punk did business, which amazed me. But in order to do business, he had to get screwed over twice in 45 minutes. Like, once again, it's just this is the whole creative control thing just coming back to blow up in people's faces. Because if you're going to do the job dirty, just do the job dirty. Don't fucking do this bullshit where you restart the match and then go another fucking 15 minutes. If you're just going to do the job dirty again, it makes no sense.
All right. So, which begs to question this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that was... I guess the question becomes, was it purposeful? Or do you think it was one of those things where maybe the extra time was sprung upon them and they had to kind of...
No. This was definitely their design, because that's why they gave him 45 fucking minutes. Because if it was just supposed to be, they wouldn't have had to do it. Like they decided to fucking do this. And then like, I guarantee you, because I'll let you know exactly what it was. It was Punk going, okay, I'll let this kid go over on me, but it's got to be dirty. And MJF goes, okay. And so he goes, how about this? How about I have Wardlow come out and toss me the Dynamite Diamond ring and I knock you out because that's my thing and that's how I've been winning matches dirty. And Punk goes, no, because I'm CM Punk. And that shouldn't work on me. And so then MJF goes, okay, well, how about this? How about we do a spot where the ref isn't looking and I choke you out with a foreign object and you pass out. And that's how I win. So I go over dirty. And Punk goes, no, it's not enough because I'm CM Punk. And so what was the compromise? We have to do both because Punk is fucking Superman.
Right. Sure.
Because it was Punk being a cunt. It was Punk going, if I got to do the job, I've got to make this kid look like absolute shit doing it. It was like the end of the Adam Cole Kyle O'Reilly feud. When the match was completely off and Cole was like, fuck this, I tap out in half a second to this because I want to make this dude look like shit.
Mm.
Because I don't know if you've noticed, some word came out about a podcast interview with Eddie Kingston. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
Kingston basically said that Punk is an asshole in the fucking locker room and he thinks his own shit don't stink and how he thinks he's fucking better than everyone there.
Interesting.
And I'm sorry, but I know Eddie, and Eddie doesn't have to lie about shit like that.
Interesting. The back end of this that I found intriguing. Slade keep on teasing for weeks like Wardlow is going to say fuck you to MJF and the Pinnacle.
Mm-hmm.
And it appeared something like that was happening during the Punk match, except they tried to figure out how MJF got the Dynamite ring, and when they showed the replay of Wardlow coming down and staring down Punk on the outside, he was with the magic of his hands behind him, dumping off the ring to MJF. So does this mean that, I guess this is the A or B of this, was this all bullshit to work in combination with the Punk angle, or do you think it's still a possibility they're going to have Wardlow go off on his own?
They'll have Wardlow go off on his own. They're just, by the time he does it, no one's going to care anymore. Because they keep doing this tease bullshit. Oh, I found the quotes from Kingston.
Okay.
So let's see here. Speaking with the Wrestle Talk podcast, accused Punk of pretending to wanting to help younger stars such as Darby, and added that his personality is fake. But he knows this like I don't think what he's doing right now is him, and all it is an act. You know, I mean, I look at him in the eyes. It's all an act. Kingston continued. Him hugging Darby, telling Darby, "Hey man, I'm going to help you." He doesn't care. He's just doing that because Darby was hot at the time. But yeah, basically Punk wanting to work. Punk basically pulling a fucking Jericho, where he goes, "This guy's hot right now, so I'm going to work with him to make my star rise." But so now here we go. So what are we going to do? Now we're going to get some bullshit fucking blow off where MJF faces Punk again at the pay-per-view in some no holds barred bullshit, or in a cage or something, where Punk gets his win back. And then it's not going to matter that MJF beat Punk. And then once again, you've got two guys who both said they want to vie for the title, and they just cancel each other out. So you're not building any contenders in the meantime.
True.
Because what do you got right now? You got Lance Archer, and then what after him? Nothing.
Cole?
Possibly. Which, I'm sorry, but Adam Cole has already sullied his name by doing all the stupid bullshit in AEW, where like he's not the main eventer he was in NXT.
Right.
And really, that was just a matter of like, I've been saying for fucking years that I can't stand fucking Adam Cole and I don't see anything in him. And really, it's just the booking department behind him making him look good. And this just shows that Triple H booking him made him look strong. Now, not so much.
Did you happen to watch Rampage Friday night, by the way?
I never watched Rampage, but I know that there was a face-off between Sammy and Darby.
Well, they did it in a weird ass-backwards kind of way. So, Sammy defended the title against Isaiah Kennedy.
Uh-huh.
And then... So, ringside was Quen, Hardy... And then eventually Andrade and his butler, whatever the fuck he is.
Yeah,
they
because the Hardy family office is trying to sign Darby.
Well, Darby wasn't even there. It was just Sammy there fighting. So the match ends. Sammy wins, obviously, and retains the title. The remainder of AHFO that were at ringside, they get in the ring like they're going to jump on him for a 5-on-1. Mm-hmm. But Darby's... oh no, Jericho was about to get up from the broadcast position to go down and stand with Sammy, but then Darby's music hits. He comes down, has like a quick little interaction with Andrade, and then basically does a fuck you and decides to stand next to Sammy. Ooh, yeah. So AHFO leaves. And then Darby and Sammy have this little face-off, and Darby like acknowledges him as the champion. It's fucking weird. It wasn't even really much of anything, honestly. You already mentioned Cole and Evil Uno, so we need to call that. Oh, so Mercedes had her debut match against Thunder Rosa. Good, good kind of stiff. Not a kind of stiff.
Cemento.
Yes, very. Ended up ending in a DQ though. Not sure how you're gonna like this. So they both end up on the outside, and Mercedes gets DQ'd. Do you want to know how she got DQ'd?
Did she accidentally like backhand the ref while she was punching Rosa?
No. Oh no. This is no. She pulls out something from under the ring and hits Thunder Rosa over the head with it. Would you like to know what it was?
A cookie sheet.
No. Think more absurd.
A rubber chicken.
Not that kind of absurd. Like over-the-top absurd.
A bicycle. I don't fucking know.
They had her hit Thunder Rosa with a pipe.
Oi.
Which I remember correctly, wasn't a pipe what she attacked her with when she debuted?
I think so, yeah.
So kind of full circle.
Hmm.
But obviously it provides a continuation potentially for that.
Of course.
But it was all things considered, you know. It was a decent match. It wasn't a shit match, at least. That's good.
It's pretty bad that their undercard of women have bigger, like, have actual, like, storylines versus their two champions.
Yeah. But does that come back to, isn't Jerry Lynn working with the women?
No, Kenny is. Kenny's the one in charge of booking the women's division.
He's the lead agent for the women's division?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So I want to make sure I got this straight. So the guy who doesn't know how to tell a story himself is providing all the storytelling for the women's division.
Yes.
What?
Yeah. That's why we get Riho.
That's a one-off, all right. But I'm assuming he has something to do with the Brandy shit.
No, that's all Cody.
Okay, so we can write that off. Are we sure he's in charge of anything involving Britt Baker?
Yeah, he's in charge of all the women's booking, dude.
Really?
Yes.
All right, so he is okay. All right, so he's got good and bad. All right, okay.
The only reason Britt Baker's champ is because she's Adam Cole's girlfriend. That's it.
We've been going over this.
Yes.
And then the main event, Lethal jobs clean to Ricky.
Wonderful. Jay Lethal Star is just on the rise.
Yep.
Former Ring of Honor champion. Jobs to Ricky Starks.
Yeah. Was a good match, though. The finish was Ricky reversing the lethal injection into the fuck does he call it? It's kind of like the KO. It's like the KOD basically that Bianca Belair.
It's like a burning hammer.
Yeah, essentially. So that was interesting, but that was the end of Dynamite. So that
was the end of Rampage.
Or yeah, whatever. Fuck them. It's AEW.
It's all the same. Yeah. But hey, yeah, you know they just fucking Vanessa Bourne just debuted on fucking YouTube, so you know their women's division is, yeah.
I mean, don't really expect Vanessa Bourne to be.
She's the ex-WWE signing of the week.
I've got nothing for you. Anyways.
You know, until Wednesday when fucking everyone's expecting another WWE signing, but the fucking thing is Tony Khan keeps saying Forbidden Door. So you know what that means? It's going to be Juice Robinson.
Somebody name dropped him about that recently.
His Japanese New Japan contract is up. His New Japan Strong contract is not.
Okay.
But if he doesn't have to be contractually obligated to the country, that means he can do stuff in America. Right. Which means technically it's still Forbidden Door because he's from New Japan Strong and so is Brody King. So I'm guessing that the whole New Japan thing is going to be Juice Robinson. I mean, the whole Forbidden Door thing. What I do not expect is what all these dumb motherfuckers are thinking, that it's Shane McMahon.
Good transition. Fuck it. Let's get into it. So, let's break it down for what it is.
Da-da-da-da.
Fuck you. I should have seen that coming. So Shane comes in. He's basically put in charge to agent the Rumble match. He comes in with the preconceived notion. This is me putting together all the pieces based on what's been reported from various outlets, and so on.
And I'll fill in some gaps for you.
The preconceived notion is Shane is coming in to be part of the Rumble match and to agent the match. We'll get to the actual Rumble match in a second, but the preconceived notion is he's coming in for this. He was also coming in to be part of the Chamber match for the WWE title in Saudi, and the alleged program he was going to be in going for WrestleMania, because everybody wanted to see this fucking match with Shane McMahon versus Seth freaking Rollins.
Supposedly, yes.
Because I'm sure Seth really fucking wanted that. That's the word on the street that's come out. Mm-hmm. Now, as far as the actual Rumble match, I believe we mentioned this last week, but the original winner supposedly was going to be Riddle.
Yeah.
Creative of the match, both week of and even day of the show, got fucked to death numerous times, to a point where Vince was like, let's just get the fucking thing over with. Also factor in that they wanted to essentially 3 weeks after the fact go back to the Roman Brock for Mania train. They then had to come up with Brock dropping to Lashley, then coming back out an hour and a half later as number 30 and doing what he did to win the Rumble match.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, Shane's also trying to set things up for future storylines in the Rumble match. And of course, number one, got to look out for me. He's only thinking about himself in all of this. So that means he has to go out and actually does outstrike a former MMA fighter / former state wrestling champion in the state of New York, Matt Riddle.
Yep.
He has to fuck up his own finish on the way out because Brock tried to clothesline him.
Yep.
And then he fucked it up the first time, so Brock had to come back harder and stiff for the second time to send him out.
This is after he no-sold 2 super kicks from Kevin Owens.
Correctamundo. And just a whole bunch of fuckery. To a point where I think Orton was still in the match and was basically telling Shane to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
That's neither confirmed nor denied, but that's just something I heard.
Yeah.
So essentially, Rumble ends, and there's a whole bunch of backlash. The locker room just was not happy. A lot of people complain about the confusion that was going on all day, this, that, and the other thing.
Shane and Jamie Noble had a lot of words.
Correct, because Jamie was also agent for the Rumble match, and Shane basically poo-pooed anything Jamie was bringing up and basically said, fuck you, I'm Shane McMahon, suck my dick, for lack of a better phrase.
Right.
And then within 36 hours, Shane McMahon is... Now, let's just... Before I say what happened to him, let's just get this straight. His last name is still McMahon.
Yep.
So anyone saying Shane McMahon's been fired?
Yeah, no.
Let's get this straight. Vince basically is saying, your last name's still McMahon. You can't be cut from the family, but get the fuck out of here while the heat's on you.
Right.
It's essentially, you know what it is? Let's make a movie comparison. This is basically Michael Corleone taking out the police chief and Sollozzo, and then Sonny saying, get the fuck out of here while the heat's hot, while it's still hot.
Yeah, exactly.
That's essentially what we just had with WWE. Vince knowing that everything's too hot on Shane and him telling Shane to get the fuck out and take time off.
Right.
And basically shit-canning his Chamber and Mania plans for Shane.
Right. As it was, Shane hasn't had an official position with the company in years. He's been brought in on per diem talent contracts here.
Correct. Yes, correct. So I mean, it just it makes you wonder now, because this leads to a much broader question.
Mm-hmm.
We've now witnessed notable firings over recent months of different agents, backstage hands.
Mm-hmm.
We've now seen a supposed heir to the throne, or not supposed, potential heir to the throne. No matter how far-fetched you may have thought Shane taking over once Vince walks away, no matter how far-fetched that idea might be, he's still McMahon.
Right.
You never know.
Yeah.
So a potential heir to the throne now comes in, puts ego ahead of common sense, fucks with most of the roster, and just kills any potential momentum he could have built over the next few months.
Mm-hmm.
To go from being a potential heir to the heir,
mm-hmm.
given all the shit that's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
Combine that with Hunter being very non-existent for months now.
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie just doing her CBO shit and
mm-hmm.
not really having anything to do backstage.
Mm-hmm.
Compound all that with Nick Khan being Nick Khan, and the still impending rumors going on, no matter how legitimate or illegitimate they are, there's still rumors of a potential public sale to somebody like a Disney or a Fox or XYZ.
Which you think would have been quelled after last week.
Is there any direction at this point?
No, there isn't any.
And I don't even mean that from a creative standpoint. I mean this from a corporate standpoint.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. You made the decision, you being Vince, to become a publicly traded company.
Yep.
In 99?
Yeah.
Okay. That was your decision 23 years ago.
Uh-huh.
From that point forward, granted, you were still in the Attitude Era.
Uh-huh.
But as things became more apparent with WCW going out of business, you become the only player in town, blah, blah, blah. You now became liable to stockholders instead of your talent.
Yep.
You became more corporate and sports entertainment. Yep. This is me trying to sell you sports entertainment, by the way, but it's just, this is what it is. Yes. You had to go corporate instead of continuing to live with the demo-specific product you had been putting out.
Right.
The problem being, if you don't have any proper structure within the corporate picture, it's eventually going to fall into the product you're presenting.
Yep.
Now, people shit on WWE all the time for the sake of shitting on them because it's the popular thing to do. Fact of the matter is, they're the best player in town, and regardless of what AEW does right now, they're never going to be considered a major player in the market for years and years to come, if they even become one.
Right.
So from a corporate standpoint, because even though he thinks he's God, Vince is not going to be forever. He's not going to live forever. Is there even a plan A at this point, corporately within the company?
Not really. See, and this is a thing. It's going to be a matter of the entire board that's there are all yes men who are not going to tell Vince that he's wrong or tell Vince that he's off kilter or that Vince needs to step down. So because they have no spines, Vince is going to stay there. And I've said this numerous times. Vince ain't going to leave WWE until they wheel him out of there in a coffin. And that's sadly the problem. I'm telling you, when that does happen, things are going to drastically change because all the yes men are going to get the fucking boot. I don't care what anyone says. It's just the way it is. Even if Stephanie is the one left in charge, because Vince is no longer there, or say like Vince's mental capacities have been taken out of the equation, let's say. The second Steph is in there, she is going to fucking turn the fucking day-to-day dealings over to Hunter. Hunter's going to fire Lorna. He's going to fire Pritchard. He's going to fire Nick Khan. There's going to be sweeping changes. And then and only then will we see changes in the company. And of course, what's going to happen is once that does happen and the sweeping changes happen, that following quarter, their stock is going to drop a little bit. It's not going to plunge, but it's going to drop a little bit. And that's when all the jackasses are going to go, WWE's going out of business. But that's just because that's what happens anytime the corporate structure of any company has a drastic change. That's the way business is run. That's what you learn when you take economics courses in college. So really, it's a matter of treading water right now, and it's a matter of biding time. It's like I said before. We're in another new generation phase where we're in that inception of WWF between the Hogan era and the Attitude Era, where they're kind of just treading water because they're the biggest game in town. And they're doing dumb shit. And really, they don't care because at the bottom, when it comes down to it, they're still making profits. So, unfortunately, that's what we have to deal with in the meantime. I do not think they are going to get sold, especially since their Q4 earnings statement came out last week. It's a waiting game right now, and that's all it is. It's kind of sad and Shane, as far as Shane goes, I'm sure things have been blown out of proportion. I mean, I'm sure Shane did Shane shit because that's what Shane does. I'm willing to bet like the level of argument was something like Shane wanted to be the last one in there with fucking Brock or with Riddle. And they said no. Shane definitely came back because they figured they needed a name for Saudi Arabia besides Goldberg, because it's a Saudi prince and he wants fucking names. And whether he would have been in the chamber match, I don't know. I think he might have had something to do with it. And if it somehow led to the day after the chamber, we find out we're going to get Shane versus Seth at Mania, it wouldn't have been the greatest thing in the world, but it wouldn't have been a marquee match. Like, sadly, that's the thing, is Shane is still kind of like drawing power. It's not a lot, but it's there. Because everyone knows that whoever is in the ring working with Shane, you're going to have some fucking insane balls out match where Shane's going to do some insanely stupid fucking bump. And it's going to it's going to be on all the fucking highlight videos the next fucking 3 weeks.
Which we'll get back to the corporate thing in a second.
Yeah.
But that brings me to another point. Hypothetically speaking, 1, 2. This means you have, at the very least right now, one would have had, I should say, potentially up to 3 matches depending on, we'll say, older gentlemen who are relying on what they did 20 years ago. Because Shane is 52, I believe.
Yep.
Still trying to do coast to coast and big falls because the fact that he stays in the shape he's in is the Vince genes in him.
Yep.
We'll just put that. I mean, not jacked, obviously, but he stays in stupid good cardio shape, and that's what happens when you train in MMA and kickboxing 5 days a week.
Right.
Brock's obviously not 50, but like Brock's
right in his 40s,
20 years in the business. Like, actually 4. Edge being the only legitimate one though, because we know Edge can still perform at a decently high level. And then, depending on if Saudi is truly just a one-off or not, you never know what the fuck they're going to do involving Goldberg. And do I really need to explain Goldberg to you?
I already said it last week, and I was in the middle of a statement, and I was like, fuck.
So
I can't like I don't think it'll happen, but that would be the ultimate Vince trolling.
if what? Goldberg beats Roman and then goes to Mania against Lesnar?
Yeah.
I'll fucking punch you.
Like, I mean, think about it. Think about it. Think about the last time we had Goldberg versus Brock at Mania. Think about the build we had to that. Goldberg comes back and 2 months before Mania beats Kevin Owens for the Universal title after Owens just had fucking like a year-long reign with the title.
Owens had the belt for 6 months.
Okay, sorry. But it's still...
Because he won it the night after SummerSlam because right. That was the whole Finn Balor getting hurt thing. Finn Balor won the original title, had to drop it because he was hurt the next night, and then Owens took it because Triple H said, fuck you, Seth.
Right. Well, but Owens had a significant run with the Universal title.
Correct.
To do the job to Goldberg in 10 seconds.
Right.
And lose the Universal title just so Goldberg could go to Mania to defend said title against Brock.
Right.
And now we have a situation where Goldberg could very well win the Universal title at the pay-per-view 2 months before Mania. And Brock is in the title match in the cage. And Brock has already said that he wants to unify the belts. So we could, like, it's really fucking sad that we could honestly come to a conclusion of having Brock versus Goldberg to unify the fucking belts.
All right.
In 2022.
Couple of things here. Number one, I don't think they're quite that stupid.
I don't either, but you never know.
All right. Number two, Brock is not winning in the chamber because I'm of the, and you're of this belief too. If they're going to unify any belts, it's the women's belts, not the men's belts.
Well, I have a feeling if they unify one, they're going to unify both.
You really think Fox wants?
I don't think Fox wants it, but once again, I think this is Nick Khan not seeing the forest for the trees.
Number three. Let's just call a spade a spade. The last good Goldberg match, good in quotes, was that Brock Lesnar WrestleMania match. Right?
Yeah.
Him versus Lashley last year was a shit show.
Yeah.
He almost killed The Undertaker in Saudi Arabia a couple years ago.
Yep.
Like, legitimately, well, not killed, but paralyzed him.
Yep.
Because he had a concussion, said, I'm still going to try to jackhammer you, man. God, that was awful.
Yes.
What else has he...
Him versus The Fiend lasted 5 minutes.
Right. Him and Lashley at SummerSlam was...
a garbage schmaz.
To the point where they had to rely on his fucking son for any legitimate heat. Just no. Oh, and it's the Golden Boy that he'd have to beat. No. Just no. If it was another KO type situation where he's the champ, but he's not like one of the company placeholders, maybe. But it's Roman. No.
It is.
Again,
but at the same time,
I understand the funny situation we're in, and I appreciate the thought because trust me, it's crossed my mind unfortunately once or twice. But there's too many extenuating circumstances. I just don't see it happening.
There are, but I'm just worried. Like remember how the day after day one, I was just like, I'm really worried. Like that.
Yeah, I know.
That hasn't stopped. Wrestling should be unpredictable, but in a good way. Right. It shouldn't be unpredictable to it's like Stockholm
for
syndrome.
The sake of being unpredictable.
It's like Stockholm syndrome. It's like I have to watch just to see, but I'm getting punished, but I need to keep getting punished.
Right.
Jesus fuck.
Wrestling fans are sadomasochistic. It's true. It's very true.
Plus, it could very well be Vince going, look, I'm still making money despite what this other company fucking does. So I'm going to fuck all of you in the ass.
Which brings me back to the corporate structure because I have one possibility because you're completely dismissing the idea of a public sale, correct? I'm going to give you one legitimate option.
What's that?
To me, it's the only one.
Yeah.
Fox, no. Disney, fuck off. There's only one legitimate possibility.
What's that? Amazon?
No. Although, that's funny. No. General Electric and Comcast.
That's NBC Universal.
Yes, sir.
Nope.
And the only...
Nope.
They already had WWE Network. You're halfway there.
However, they reported their Q4 earnings too.
I know. Peacock was... I know.
They're still building Peacock off the ground. They can't afford to throw more money at something right now.
Look. I'm just saying it's the only legitimate option, in my opinion. Not immediately. I'm saying in time. It's the only legitimate option that makes sense out there. Or at least there's any current ties.
Yeah. I just don't see them selling to anyone. Like, as much as people say they're going to sell, I don't see them selling. I don't.
I agree. I agree. But nobody is going to write it off unless Nick Khan gets fired.
True.
That all being said, I do want to get to, let me see here. I have a couple of quick things to bring up. Aside from, because we just mentioned Shane. Number one, I wanted to let you know, and I didn't, the picture I took was kind of messed up, but I saw a TikTok a night or two ago.
Oh, God.
Teasing part of the card for night 2 of WrestleMania. I don't know if I don't know if this is legitimate or not, but I just wanted to pass it along because
it was on TikTok, dude.
I know, but it was a picture of an actual like run sheet. I know, take it for what it is, but these are the 4 matches that were on there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. WWE Championship, a triple threat.
Oh, God.
Lashley, Big E, Kevin Owens.
Nope.
The next 2, I think, are potential because of what they're doing right now with the first person about the name. Lita versus Sasha Banks.
That we already know that's not happening.
How do you figure?
We're going to get Lita versus Becky at fucking Mania as well, dude.
This is, I think, the one we already are pretty much saying is going to happen. Edge and AJ Styles.
I don't see it happening.
And then the other one, which I don't see happening because I don't see them throwing this last guy into the match. Triple threat Roman, Brock, Drew McIntyre.
Nope.
Correct. So, yeah.
But that just realize it's like another problem that we have is they have put so much emphasis on Brock and Roman that they've done nothing to flesh out other feuds going into Mania, and we're 2 months away. Like for nothing.
All right. You mentioned. Oh, okay. All right. So I want to bring this up. I know we have to run through the TV quick, but I have to bring this up. I have to bring this up. You mentioned to me yesterday the news that came out about Boogeyman signing a Legends deal with WWE.
Yep.
I have zero problem with that because that basically means, he gets action figures and will probably be involved in making random appearances for the company down the road. Whatever. That's fine. This is where you and I have a vast disagreement. Because you're telling me, you're fucking telling me that Boogeyman's going into the Hall of Fame.
I would say so. I'm the Boogeyman, and I'm gonna get you.
Is there any criteria anymore for what qualifies to be in the Hall of Fame?
I mean, it is what it is, dude.
I mean, good for him. He was an old dude who somehow got a gimmick that worked and got him over for a few years and got him on TV. Congratulations. Hall of Fame? What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
I mean, dude, Coco Beware's in the Hall of Fame. I'm just saying.
He had more of a legitimate career than the Boogeyman.
Great Khali's in the Hall of Fame. I'm just saying.
Not a great talent, but at least they put the belt on him.
So?
Listen, I'm not saying Jinder Mahal needs to go in the Hall of Fame, but I'm just like...
I'm just saying, dude. Like, the dude was a character. The dude sold action figures. He's a Vince creation. And you figure he made his debut fucking 17 years ago.
I don't get it.
I'm not saying it's a great choice, but I'm saying, like, it's probably going to happen.
Congratulations, I guess. Brain.
Makes you wonder if he's going to dress in gimmick for the Hall of Fame ceremony.
Oh, God, I hope not. Jesus.
Or even like he's going to wear a tux with the fur fucking thing and come out do it with the face paint and then come out doing the walk and crack the clack over his head on his way out to the stage. Like, I'd pop for that.
God, it looks like he's walking while having a seizure.
Is he going to take his teeth out for the Hall of Fame speech?
Oh, God. Been there, seen that. Anyways,
he's going to eat worms like during the Hall of Fame speech.
All right. Anyway, I had to be a victim of that once before. I never told you that story, did I?
Oh, one of the times, like in your Facebook him or whatever.
No, it was one of the final shows that Dynasty ever did.
Oh, Dynasty booked him?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. This is while I was managing. Yeah, that was interesting. the whole segment went 10 minutes too long, but that's neither here nor there.
That's
anyways,
show.
Yeah. All right. So, what did we get from TV the last 8 days? Continuing these therapy session vignettes with Alexa, they're interesting. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with her.
They're transitioning her back into the old persona.
Right, I know what you're saying.
Which I don't like.
This also means there's talk coming out she might not even be back in the ring for a Mania program.
Which would be bullshit.
I would hope it's bullshit and that she does somehow make her way into Mania. Yeah. Just breaks my heart.
Yes.
Ronda makes Becky wait, ends up choosing Charlotte on SmackDown.
Supposedly.
Well, Ronda told Charlotte that.
Yeah, but also nothing is definitive until a contract is signed.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Here we go. RK Bro earns a tag title rematch because Randy Orton knows how many grams are in an ounce. Congratulations. That was an interesting way to open Raw last night. Jesus Christ.
Dude, first hour of Raw was commercial free, sans WWE commercials.
Saw that.
And they wasted fucking 45 minutes of that hour on fucking promo segments.
Uh-huh. And?
Like, don't advertise your commercial free if you're just going to blow it on all that.
Yeah, the first 45 minutes of the first hour was basically the Quiz Bowl
The Quiz Bowl and the fucking promo segment between fucking the only match that happened was fucking the Street Profits and Alpha Academy.
Yep.
Like everything else is promos.
Lashley promo. Who cares? They have AJ pin Damian Priest, so now it looks like AJ is getting a U.S. title shot next week.
I'd like to bring something up on that.
Go ahead.
So when Damian Priest won the U.S. title, he was undefeated on the main roster. They made a big point of that. Damian Priest was undefeated on the main roster when he won the U.S. title.
Okay.
Since holding the U.S. title, he's had 5 losses in the past 2 months.
That's what they do with all their fucking champions.
But he's still the U.S. champion. Like, remember how it went from I'm going to have open challenges to now everything's a contenders match? Like, remember when guys just used to face each other and then the winner would go face the U.S. champion, not have to beat the U.S. champion to gain a spot at the U.S. title? Not to mention, how many fucking times are we going to have Damian Priest lose his control and lose by disqualification, only for not to end up anywhere in the long run?
That's what they do with almost all their titles now, though, are these contenders matches, which I don't agree with, but I know. Welcome to my life.
Now, they had 2 women's Elimination Chamber matches, but I don't understand, like, what was at stake. Was
nothing.
It like whoever
Absolutely
lost?
Nothing.
Oh, I thought like it was like whoever lost the matches had to enter at 1 and 2.
Fucking nothing.
So there was no point. So why even fucking matter?
Because they're just trying to build more story into the. I don't fucking know. I don't
care.
I don't know. A reason to give Liv Morgan another L on TV? I don't fucking know. Are we now in my hypothetical WrestleMania booking for the last month? I thought they were trying to play up to a Dom versus Ray match. Now I'm worried more and more it's going to be Miz versus Ray or Miz versus Dom.
I think it's going to be Miz and someone versus Ray and Dom.
Who the fuck could the someone be, though?
Who the fuck knows?
Who the fuck will you even put with Miz at this point?
Mm-hmm.
You shit Ken Morrison, so you can't do that. I mean, you could, but that would be fucking stupid.
Let's see. All of his other tag partners work for AEW now.
Theory?
No. Like I said, I don't fucking know, but it's because Ray and Miz is probably going to happen in Saudi. That's probably going to be an undercard match on that show.
Which, by the way, to run through that card quick, we obviously have the men's Elimination Chamber match for the WWE title.
Mm-hmm.
Becky defending against Lita.
Mm-hmm.
The Usos are going to defend the SmackDown tag titles against the Viking Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Reigns versus Goldberg for the Universal title.
Mm-hmm.
McIntyre versus Madcap Moss, because we really fucking need that match. And
they gotta stop trying to give this kid the rub.
And then the Women's Elimination Chamber match to determine the number one who's going to fight for the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania. Liv, Rhea, Bianca, Doudrop, Nikki, and then a mystery opponent. Ooh.
There's a mystery opponent in the Women's Chamber?
Yep. Don't ask me. I don't have a fucking clue.
I thought they named him. Oh, Jesus.
Nope.
I got nothing. Like, it would be nice if they throw like Oscar or Bailey in there, but
that'd be a hell of a way to come back from injury for Bailey. Welcome back. Get in the chamber, bitch.
Exactly. Oh shit, you're hurt again.
Yeah, exactly. My point.
Same thing with Oscar.
yeah. Because fuck it, why not? What else?
I mean, it'd be nice if it was like a call up and it was like Raquel Gonzalez, but no, that they wouldn't waste it on that.
No. Let's see. SmackDown, Heyman being Heyman. We know that. Goldberg, I never want him to hold a microphone again.
Nah. I knew something was happening because Goldberg has openly said he has a contract just for the Saudi show, so I knew they're going to try to put him in there somewhere.
And they're trying to push some fucking TV show I think he's starting now.
Oh.
It's about cars. I don't fucking know. I don't pay
Oh, another
attention.
one?
Yeah, I don't fucking know. Did you happen to watch any of SmackDown?
No, didn't have a chance because my hospital room has satellite TV and none of the satellite channels were working.
So if you get a chance, try to find this on YouTube or something.
Okay.
Try to find Angel Garza almost breaking Kofi's neck.
Ugh.
Just try to find it somewhere, somehow. Even if you gotta go to WWE.com and pull up the clip of the match.
So yeah, I wanted to pull up something about because everyone's saying that like Big E's push is done and yada yada and all this shit. The only reason Big E is over on SmackDown and tagging with Kofi is because Woods is injured. And because they don't have anything for Kofi outside of tagging with New Day.
And shit's kind of fucked up with the WWE title right now anyway, so.
Exactly. Plus, they are low on baby faces, like main event baby faces on SmackDown. We've already said this.
Mm-hmm.
So having Big E there,
let it breathe, and then when the time is right, swing him back.
Exactly. Or in the meantime, like have him do something over there, fucking because obviously the only top baby faces you have on that show right now to fucking that would be viable against Roman are Drew, Big E, possibly Nakamura. That's it. Everyone else is either in a tag team or so far in the undercard that just nothing would be believable.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what we have here. What else? In order to avoid fighting Naomi, Sonya books Naomi in a SmackDown Women's title match. Good for her, I guess. They finally booked Nakamura versus Sammy for the IC title in 2 weeks.
Because Nakamura's hand is finally not hurt anymore.
Right. Ronda picked Charlotte. I'll put that in quotes for you.
Right.
Which brings me to my next point. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
So there was a distinct difference in Ronda's approach between Raw and SmackDown. Did you hear about this, good sir?
Ronda was more bitchy on SmackDown.
Reverse it.
Oh, she was a lot. Oh, she was like more smiley. That's what it was.
Correct. Because apparently she was approached after her appearance on Raw with Becky on Monday night, and they said, "Look, you're the face. You're not a heel. Stop looking like you have resting bitch face all the time." So Friday night she comes out and she's like, slapping hands, high five, high five, high five. Yeah, that was interesting.
Well, because like before, so the first time Ronda was there, she was kind of living a dream. And she was happy to be doing what she was doing, and because it was the mark in her. Now she's back for a fucking paycheck. Mm-hmm. Basically, now is like the same time as when Brock came back. There for a paycheck. I don't give a fuck.
Basically. All right. Finally, NXT. They open with Imperium versus
Legado.
Yes, thank you. This goes back to why we need actual fans there.
Or no, it wasn't Legado. Sorry, it was Diamond Mine.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, Diamond Mine. Thank you. Yeah. This goes back to why we need actual fans there.
And not family members. Yeah.
They're still chanting fucking Walter. Like,
well, not only that, they're chanting for the fucking Creed brothers.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Well, you know what would stop that? They hadn't made him change his fucking name.
Well, fair. Programming reminder, NXT is on Sci-Fi tonight and next week because of the Olympics, by the way.
Oh, God.
Which I believe is also for Raw, too.
How much you want to bet? I'm going to wait for the numbers to come out for Raw, because obviously they're probably not going to be as high because they were on Sci-Fi.
They were expecting a record low.
Yeah, just because it's on Sci-Fi.
Correct.
But I guarantee Tony Khan's going to be on fucking Twitter talking some shit and being like, we beat Raw, even though they didn't beat him, or we beat him in the demo, because nobody cares about the fucking demo.
Yeah, and?
Because I guarantee even if Raw was at a record low, they still drew more than Dynamite drew last week.
Probably. So, fuck me. You watched NXT last week, I assume, correct?
Yes.
So you saw the whole show-long shit with Kaylee Ray kidnapping Gigi and JC.
Chase, like doing the long-term Benny Hill shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and then chasing around Mandy with the bat, dumping spaghetti on her and all that shit. And finally, Mandy agrees to give her a title match. That's nice.
That was so fucking drawn out.
And then Cora Jade loses to Raquel in the process, earns her respect. Now they're going to team the Dusty Classic. We didn't see that coming from a mile away. Yeah. So that's all I've got for that.
That fucking the shit with fucking like it's just it keeps getting worse. And plus,
go ahead.
You know that Kaylee Ray is going to get fucked over for the title this week, so that way they can have the rematch at fucking Vengeance Day next week.
Whatever.
Because what was the opening promo? That was so dumb. How Mandy Rose basically compared how she's been a bikini model to Kaylee Ray, who was the longest reigning fucking NXT Women's UK champion.
Something like that.
Like, I was like, who the fuck? Like, I know it's Bruce Pritchard writing this shit, but who the fuck is writing this shit? Like, it's the dumbest shit in the fucking world. Like, I'm no fan of Kaylee Ray, but give me a fucking break.
Who booked this shit?
Exactly. Like, it's getting like record bad. And like fucking it's like there's like one shining spot on every episode of NXT that keeps you wondering like maybe they can pull through this. But then the rest of the show is so fucking awful. Like, I'm happy to see fucking Cameron Grimes versus Carmelo Hayes. I think that's going to be a great match. I hate the fact that we're going to see Tony D'Angelo versus fucking Pete Dunne in a fucking cage when we've already seen them in a cage and in a weapon on a pole match.
But it was a team match inside the cage.
I don't give a fuck. That War Games match should have ended a feud, not begun a feud. I believe I said that on this show.
We're probably going to see LA Knight versus Grayson Waller.
Because we haven't seen that feud drawn out since Halloween of last year.
I know.
And they need to fucking stop pushing Grayson Waller. Like, they just need to fucking stop.
Grayson Waller.
And in the meantime, here they are because it's the new fucking quarter. It's the new fucking quarter, and like they already had this plan where they're like, okay, over this 3 months, we're going to push these 3 greenhorns or these amount of greenhorns. Now it's the new block, and we don't care what we're doing with these other ones. Now we're going to shove all these other new people down your fucking throat. And in the meantime, you don't have enough veterans to make these greenhorns look good. So you're just getting overwhelmed with greenhorns. And now you're getting this shit with the dude from fucking Singapore who got hurt in his first fucking match. So was out. So they're like, okay, we're going to push him in this block. And now they turned Saray into fucking Riho. And we're going to try pushing that. Then they got stupid fucking I'm a spoiled fucking rich bitch because that never works. And then we took fucking Karen Q and turned her into a fucking anime stereotype and put her in fucking footy pajamas. As her coming to the ring, like, this is what Japanese people do. They drink boba tea and have body pillows. Like, give me a fucking break, Bruce Pritchard. Suck a fucking dick. You okay? I mean, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm fucking wrong.
Telling you you're wrong.
And then fucking we're gonna start pushing this new fucking long-haired kid with fucking Andre Chase.
Oh, the Cody, whatever the fuck is
Bodie,
yeah, whatever. Cody, Bodie, fucking same thing.
And like you're like fucking it's the whole reason because they're basically trying to do what they did in OVW. I get that. The thing was, OVW was on local television, not national television. And also the fact that they would bring in main roster guys to help get the younger guys over to help teach them. But it was usually, because I had this conversation with someone, it was usually the guys that were almost ready for TV would work with the guy from the main roster to see if they were ready. Like when Batista was almost ready, they had Kane come down and work with him when he was still Leviathan. Or they had like the APA come down to work with a couple of the tag teams and shit. Like that shit worked in OVW. Bringing AJ Styles down to work with Grayson Waller when Grayson Waller is still green as fucking leprechaun shit? No. However, if you had brought AJ down to work with Cameron Grimes or with Carmelo Hayes or with Pete Dunne, that would have made sense. Because now you've got guys that are just stuck perennially in NXT for no other reason than we don't have any fucking vets for these guys to work. So guys like Carmelo Hayes and Cameron Grimes and fucking Joe Gacy and who else? Pete Dunne. Like they're all just going to be stuck there fucking and just have to keep fucking like jobbing to these fucking young kids to hope that that's going to get these kids over. And it's not, because these kids need, like, hopefully working the fucking Florida track of house shows fucking smartens these kids up a bit. I mean, fucking better. But I mean, in the meantime, like, it's just, they're doing it all wrong and all backwards. And they need to really fucking stop. Like, it's ridiculous. And they're just pushing the stupidest fucking gimmicks down there. Like, I can't fucking, like, I don't get it. I'm like, how many chances are they going to give fucking Duke Hudson? Like, you brought him up to the main roster already and he failed. Just because you brought him back down to NXT, changed his name, doesn't mean shit. Like, he failed on the main roster in empty arenas. Like, dude, if that doesn't say you're not going to get over, I don't know what does. So, like, it's just fucking Andre Chase, like, fucking, I'm sorry, but I never saw Harlem Bravado as anything but, like, a new age Mulkey. Like, the Bravado boys were just like the fucking Mulkeys. They were just there to fucking be bump machines for other guys. Trying to give Andre Chase a fucking character, and, like, no, it doesn't work. And giving it this fucking white meat, blonde-haired fucking Lance Cade looking motherfucker, not Lance Cade, Lance Cade. Fucking, like, blonde-haired Lance Cade looking motherfucker ain't gonna fucking do anything. Like, they don't have the brand doesn't have its own personality anymore. It's just a bunch of shitty gimmicks getting thrown against the fucking wall. Like,
yeah.
I used to look forward to watching NXT. Now I watch it because I have to.
Sorry.
Well, no, but it's because, like I said, like, you get that one shining spot on every show where, like, okay, this is going to be a good match. But there's so much other shit that you have to fucking cipher through to get to it.
Yep.
So, yeah. So, I mean, like, what's going to be the good match this week? It's not going to be Kaylee Ray and Mandy Rose, because that's going to be fucking terrible. I don't know what the hell else they announced for NXT this week.
The Dusty Cup semifinals. Which means you've got the Creed brothers against Grizzled Young Veterans, and you have MSK against that underdog team.
And No Faye and
Black.
Yeah. Which, okay, so obviously MSK is going to the finals of the Dusty Cup again. They have painted GYV into such a fucking corner because this is the third year they're in the Dusty Cup. Mm-hmm. The last 2 years they made it to the finals and fucking ended up jobbing out. Are you going to have them job to the fucking Creed brothers? Like, they're a more established team. They can talk. Like, they're another one of those groups of guys that should be on the fucking main roster, but they're stuck down in fucking NXT right now. And it's like, you're going to have them job to these green as hell motherfuckers who don't know how to slow the fuck down, who don't know how to pull their own fucking punches. Then what? You're going to put the Creed brothers over in the fucking Dusty Cup? Like, you want to see Dusty roll over in his grave. This is how it happens. Because it's obvious whoever wins the Dusty Cup gets a fucking shot at the tag titles. And you're telling me that they're like, you already had the Diamond Mine job to fucking Imperium. So why are you going to fucking continue this on?
Yep.
You know, I'd rather see the comeback story of MSK going against Imperium and trying to get the titles back, because they had a banger of a match when they dropped the fucking titles. And then say MSK loses, and then MSK fucking shows up on the main roster. Because they really shouldn't have been in NXT to begin with. Like, I understand how they had to go down there just to work with the WWE system for a bit to get ready for TV, but they came from fucking Impact. They can go to the fucking main roster. They've been there for fucking over a year. Just let them come up. Otherwise they're going to get stuck down there being like fucking jobbing to like, look at what they did to fucking Kushida. Like, Kushida used to be formidable.
Check it time.
Yeah, now he's in fucking 2022's version of Kai and Tai. It's terrible. It's like, because like you can tell who the fuck is like developing the characters down there, because everything is stereotypical and everything is out of touch. It's all Pritchard and Laurinaitis going like this is what Japanese people are like. This is what German people are like. This is what millennials are like. This is what woke people are like. Like, it's so fucking tired.
Would you like to have the rundown for tonight's NXT?
Absolutely.
All right. So I mentioned the Dusty Cup semifinals. We already know what those two matches are. Along with that are, so I'm assuming you saw that Wendy Chu stole Tiffany Stratton's daddy's credit card. Right?
Yes.
Apparently
seriously.
They're gonna have a fucking match for it.
Okay, like, this is 2022. Like, this angle might have run in 1989, but now you have a babyface performing identity theft. And it's 2022. What happens when you lose your credit card? You call and cancel it 5 minutes later. Why are we doing this? Why? Why are we doing this?
I don't know. Saray will go one-on-one with Dakota Kai. Which was set up last week because Saray.
Yeah, Dakota like mocked her, and if you remember, this is long-term storytelling because
Dakota
Saray
Kai gave Saray her first loss.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this isn't long-term storytelling. This is you're not using Saray on TV for a year.
Correct. LA Knight faces Sanga.
Oh yeah, he's facing not Wardlow for fucking a shot at fucking Grayson Waller. Yeah,
correct. The Kaylee Ray Mandy Rose match.
Yeah,
and a championship summit.
Oh, between fucking Legato and fucking Braun Breaker.
Correct.
Yay.
A championship summit.
That's a fancy name for a contract signing where someone goes through a table.
Basically, yes, exactly. Thank you. Oh, championship summit sounds like what's that, Camp David?
Yeah, I've been getting a bunk port. Yep. Meanwhile, on Dynamite, you've got the Texas Death Match for the title. That's their drawing point of this week.
And a big surprise that Tony Khan will address live on the show.
Yeah, because whoever the Forbidden Door surprise person is going to be facing, I don't even remember who they're facing in the fucking qualifier for the Big Cheerio ladder match.
Big Cheerio ladder match.
That's what it is. It's whoever would like. So the title that anybody, this is what I didn't get back to before. The title that anybody can just walk on and say, I want a shot, is now there has to be qualifiers for a ladder match to get a giant Cheerio to say, I want a shot. That's like communism with extra steps.
What? What the fuck?
It's a Rick and Morty reference.
Oh my God. Okay.
It's supposed to be slavery with extra steps. Sorry.
Oh, Jesus. Mary.
It's slavery with extra steps.
Anyways. Okay. I don't know how we're going to transition to this final thing I wanted to bring up. I'm not even sure if you've seen this. Ring of Honor is creating a Hall of Fame.
Yes, I have.
Have you seen their first two inductee announcements?
The Briscoes and Danielson.
Over under 72 hours before they announced CM Punk as an inductee.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Danielson and the Briscoes are there from the very beginning. I think for the first year class, they're going to do very beginning people. So I think it'll be the Briscoes,
Homicide,
Danielson. I don't even think Homicide. Low-key.
because his ego really fucking needs it.
Low-key was one of the first champs.
I know. Fucking Loki.
Samoa Joe, now that he is not tied down to WWE.
Or anyone.
Yeah. And then probably...
Oh, no.
I would say Amazing Red.
Oh, no.
What?
We didn't think about him.
What?
For the big surprise.
Who?
You just said his fucking name.
What, Loki?
No.
Samoa Joe?
Yes.
Go ahead. He can't work.
That's my point. That's my point.
He's going to be another commentator.
That's my point.
If Samoa Joe didn't move the needle on NXT when he came back, he ain't going to move the needle in AEW. Sorry to tell you.
AEW. This should be their slogan from now on. AEW. Brain damage. Fuck me sideways with a toothbrush. God damn it. Anyways. Unless you have any other parting thoughts of wisdom.
No, I mean, at least it looks like Ring of Honor is going to come back. Like, people can kind of cool their heels on the whole Ring of Honor is dead thing. It looks like, they're coming back Mania weekend. They're obviously doing the Hall of Fame thing. We just don't know what their TV is going to entail. Because right now, ROH still has their TV show, and they're literally just showing single matches from Final Battle every week.
Yeah.
But, I mean, at least they're still there. So...
And they are selling tickets for
right. I think people
Honor.
jumped the gun on thinking that ROH was dead. What we're gonna get when we come back, we don't know. But I'm betting that's a reason that the Briscoes dropped the GCW tag titles, and that they haven't shown up on AEW. Because I think they decided to stay with Ring of Honor, and Ring of Honor was hoping, because FTR made that one appearance, that they would make another one, and Tony Khan's going to go fuck you in the end, and we're never going to get that Briscoes FTR match.
Or vice versa, and it will happen.
I don't know. I don't see... Yeah, Tony Khan will be like, oh, I'll go in with business Ring of Honor, because look at how much I did for Impact.
Not what I meant by that.
Oh, what, you mean FTR will leave AEW? I mean, I'd like to see it happen.
I think hypothetically, I could see a world, and I'm not saying this is actually an option in their heads, but it could be. I could see a world where those two say, fuck this shit, because they know what's good in wrestling and what's bad wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And they just decide to bounce back and forth between NWA and Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And they just work them. And maybe the occasional indie date here and there.
Yeah.
I think that's actually a legitimate option. I'm not saying that they've thought about it, or it's even a thought that's passed through their heads, but
yeah,
I think they can smell bullshit a lot better than most other people in that company can.
Yeah.
Also, and they're a little more willing to bet on themselves than the other people, than others.
Yeah. Also, considering the fact that they pulled Brian Kendrick so quickly from Dynamite after advertising him. Mm-hmm. Considering that the Briscoes really never got a fair shot because they made some homophobic tweets like 10 years ago.
Right.
I'm betting that's why Tony Khan won't touch them.
Probably.
Because Tony Khan lives on social media, and if something on social media goes against what fucking would be best for his vision, then unfortunately that's the way it's going to be. And that's why we're not seeing FTR versus the Briscoes.
Correct. All right. Well, with all that being said, that was episode 36 of White Heat, folks, presented by Godzilla Media, sponsored by our good friends over at Mohawk Honda in Scotia Glenville and Johnstone Supply in Troy. Don't forget Kelly Blue Book instant cash offers going on at Mohawk Honda. If you're looking to trade in your vehicle, get a check in hand same day, or you could just turn that money around and get it to buy a new or a certified pre-owned used vehicle from Mohawk Honda. Tons of great people over there, and they'll be able to hook you up. Go and visit them in Scotia Glenville. That being said, I see JJ doing the rocking back and forth. Like,
you know what next week means?
Get me the fuck out of here. What's next week?
Next week is try not to suck any dick through the parking lot.
Huh?
37 in a row? Really, bro?
Anyways.
You're going to no-sell me on a Clerks reference?
Yes, I am no-selling on the Clerks reference.
Jackass.
Fucker. Anyways, for JJ Alexander, all the hate tweets can go to @BrianKatie. We'll catch you next time. Say goodbye, JJ.
Goodbye, JJ.